Hello, gentlemen. This is Advocate Kadavil. Supreme Court is now in controversy. There is an organization, Cockroach Party, CJP, only because of the comment from the present Chief Justice of India, Justice Surikant. Now that's being organized, and they are one or other way airing their views against the present government. So just understand that these type of pronouncements, people are really doubtful that the judgeship itself is a political appointment, and so the judge themselves are also pronouncing these kinds of political judgments. So people are really worried of that. That actually a systemic bias towards the BJP and the present rulers of this country, the BJP. Now many of the justice people, in the name of social organization, they are participating in RSS sponsored programs and identifying with the Hindutva politics to get a plum post in the judiciary, or after service they should be absorbed in many of the government jobs. It's very sad to see these people, so-called justices, we consider themselves as the towering personalities, cynosure of attention from everywhere. These people are so narrow-minded and greedy enough to get and grab more and more position even after return. We have seen many such personalities in the judiciary. Now the thing is that a party in person appearing in the Supreme Court, where the bunch of Justice Surikant and Justice Bhakti, they were arguing. The person against one ACP is from UP, and he wanted to get a crime registered against the ACP. And that when he was arguing in a frustrated manner, he abused the Chief Justice of India, that market abusive language, sometimes the street word, mother truth, we can hear it. So these kinds of things is happening in the judiciary, because the judiciary is actually buffering the pressure in between, sandwiched in between the people and the governments. So the ultimate hope of the public is to approach the court. Now the court is also deciding in this one-sided manner. People will get frustrated. Maximum Chief Justice wanted to take a case against him. The imprisonment maximum he can give is 6 months. 6 months imprisonment. I had visited a Supreme Court judge court once. It's actually a high security area. You cannot carry your own bag, or everything is in your scanner. And just understand that the public ire is too much against the Supreme Court of India. I can tell you, some years back, one of the family court where I am also practicing, the party in person, he wanted to argue a case himself, and he didn't want to. He was not happy with the advocate. He was representing the court, and he wanted to argue his own case. And finally, he argued the case, and the judge pronounced the order. So what happened was, the person who took an iron hoe and took it and hit all, completely damaged the car in public gaze, and his car was completely damaged. And finally, was arrested, and he was in jail. But in case the judge was inside the car, the judge would have been killed. So what is the remedy for that? If a judge is killed, we cannot give a double imprisonment, or maybe capital punishment, double capital punishment. That's not possible. So judges should be very careful about that. Recently, another municipal court, she was chased in the chamber and attacked her. And actually, many of these kinds of things are not aired in the newspapers, and journalists are so fearful to report that. Sometimes the court will take action against that. I remember in 2001, the Outlook magazine, they published an item, a news item, judged out. It was judged out. I had seen it. I remember that. It was in 2001. So that means they are giving the marks. So judges are giving marks to everything, and they are critical about the government, and critical about the performance of the people, and loyalty and integrity. So that Outlook has published about the ranking, interviewing the senior lawyers of the Delhi High Court. And finally, they give some judges got, I remember 9, and some judges 5, 4, like that. So what happened was, the judge that Delhi High Court had viewed it very seriously, had proscribed the magazine, and I think contempt of court was taken against the Outlook magazine. So this is the thing. So one or other way, the judiciary is suppressing general public, are not actually ready to hear the grievances of the people. We know that judge appointment is political appointment, but at the same time, even if though the pretext of a collegium, and we know that the government has a say on that, but once the judges are getting the power, they should be a political, and to be above politics, and to decide very objectively. That is not there. In my experience, also, trial side lawyer, I have appeared for a POXO matter. You know that POXO is a revenge statute, even for touching somebody or a kid, and the kid is saying that incidentally that person can be convicted for 10 years, 20 years. It is a revenge statute. So it's a serious offense. So the trial side lawyer should have to cross-examine. So the judge is saying that come to the point. So that means that the judge has no experience in the practice inside. He's saying that you ask about whether which part touched and like that. So we need to elaborate the circumstance in which the cases was taken. There may be hostility. That's a family matter. The judge is insisting that. So finally, there was a lot of argument with the judges, and we approached the kind advised us to approach the High Court to changing the court. he was not ready to recuse from the case, and finally High Court approached the High Court, and the District Court again, District Court and High Court suggested the party to again approach the judges. That's the position. The people are unhappy about the judges and their decisions. They're thinking that it is actually colored. They are thinking that it is not justice. So if that's the case, you can also consider that several decisions of the Supreme Court. Samuel Kamele's case, he was an army officer. The only thing is that he said that he is as a Christian, he can participate in the puja ceremonies of Hindus. That's the thing. I don't know whether he was told to perform that or not. But anyway, the Supreme Court eliminated without hearing that, a senior counsel appearing for him, and he should have been given back to some reconciliation or some other forum to think about that. But it was in camera, the judges refused to hear that matter and interpret it as a religious arrogance. So the judge was not ready to hear his part. Of course, we need unity and integrity of the military. We do admit it, but secularism is also there. So you need to admit a person who belongs to minority or thinking in that stream. You have to include them also. This is not a religious country. You just understand Chhattisgarh. What is happening in Chhattisgarh? Chhattisgarh, many tribal areas, the Christian converts are not allowed to enter their own village. So they put some banish there. Christians are not allowed to enter into the village. So they went to the Chhattisgarh High Court, and subsequently they reached the Supreme Court of India, and Justice Sinha and Guru, that was dismissed. Then what's the use of our fundamental rights, and what is the meaning of the constitutional principles? And we have seen that in lighthouse cases in Madras High Court, Madhya Court also decided that actually we don't know that where is the truth of that, because all these judges are not giving any speaking order. So that Vilakku case also, that Justice Swaminathan was very emotionally arguing for Hindus, but the people are not convinced that whether Hindus or Muslim is a different costume. But he should enlighten the people and communicate of that, why he has taken that decision or not. So why he should emotionally argue. Subsequently, the division bench in Madras High Court also upheld the Justice Swaminathan. And these kinds of thing is existing because we think that a systemic bias towards Hindutva politics and BJP, that's actually